two girls that dropped off. They dropped off multiple cards. So Emily did some, I did some, these girls did some extras. So I don't know. I think we're probably going to get around. I mean, we were hoping between like 50 and 100, but I think we're going to get there somewhere in there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So
that is
yeah, we're doing all
fantastic.
right.
Wow. Okay. Ah, there's Michael. How you doing, brother? I think his audio's clicking in. Almost. Michael, you with us? Yeah. Good morning, brother. Oh, I think you're on mute. No, you're not on mute, but I can't hear you. And I see Emily's with us too. I think she's on mute right now.
What about now?
There you are. Yay. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing okay. Yeah, we were just catching up. I'll fill the whole group in about what's going on with me here in a little bit, but I'd love to hear how you guys are doing. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Doing pretty good. Cleaning out the school yesterday. I think I'll go back today. So that's interesting, going back in the building for since a couple months since it all started.
Oh wow! So you haven't been in the building at all?
Yeah, not really. But yeah, yesterday was the first time.
Wow. What's the vibe? What's the vibe in the building?
I mean, so we have a small staff, and we were just cleaning out, and there was 4 people. Mm-hmm. We were wearing masks, but people were just glad to see each other, really.
Wow. It's got to feel really weird. I know it feels weird when I go back to Redline. I go in once a week, and the heat, the air conditioning's turned off, the heat's turned off, the lights are out. It's an eerie feeling. I see Amy is with us. Amy, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
There she is. Yes, absolutely. And I think we're getting in Chelsea right now. I think Miss Emma is coming in. Who else? And Vanessa is joining us as well. It's good to see you guys this morning. Oh, there's Vanessa. All right. Getting everybody in right now. Boom, boom, boom. There's Chelsea. There we go. Chelsea, how's it going? Can you hear us? I think she's still connecting. Emma, can you hear us? I see you're on mute.
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, well, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Outside in the sunshine.
Yeah, it's one of the things that's keeping me going. It's keeping me going.
Yeah.
We'll catch up a little bit later. I want to know how the drop-off went yesterday.
Yeah, we can talk later.
Okay, Vanessa, are you with us? We can see you.
Yes, I got my audio on, I think.
Excellent. There you go. Good morning.
Hello.
How are things going for you?
Really good. The school year is about wrapped up, so it's been interesting.
I can only imagine. Really, the format of today's meeting is going to be pretty simple here. I want to kind of do a round robin and talk to you guys about your experience this semester and how it went. I do have my screen shared with you, so you should be able to see the website in development right now and the page that is going to be up and running, featuring your students' work and your work and some videos and other things that have been collected over the course of time that we've been doing this now. And everybody in their inbox also just a few minutes before this meeting started should have got a teacher survey. If you got a teacher survey, can I see an emoticon thumbs up or your actual thumbs up? There's Amy, there's Vanessa, Michael, Chelsea. Yay, it worked.
Yes.
Emma, yes. Okay. Chelsea, how you doing?
Good.
Great.
Hey, Chels.
Hello.
It's good to see
I'm not
you.
in the other room this time.
I know.
Have you guys been social distancing in the studio in the building?
Trying. Yeah, I mean, we
Yes,
wear
we can.
time, and but it's like, it's weird. We tend to, and then
Well,
hard.
we did a bunch of videos for like for the Colorado High School Charter is doing sort of like a virtual video message for all their seniors.
Okay.
So we were trying to do all these videos and like have little props show up inside the video. So then we just blew the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I completely understand. Looks like we've got Abby is with us now.
Hey, sorry, I was waiting in a Google Hangouts trying to be let in because there's 2 links to this event.
Oh, is there? Oh,
There's
you know
a
what?
Google
Since
Hangout and a Zoom.
You know what? Since I sent the invitation through the calendar, that's right. It did do a Google Hangouts too. Thank you for that. That's got to be that's some troubleshooting.
Glad I read further.
That is some troubleshooting. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Cool. Well, since we're already about 6 minutes in, I wanted to jump into this because, you know, we're all on limited time, and I want to honor that and make sure that we get enough time to also reflect with all of you as well. I want to start off by saying, first and foremost, thank you so much for continuing on with this project. And as augmented as it may be, I think it's extraordinarily successful. I think that the work that you guys sent in collaboration with your artists and working remotely is something to be very, very proud of. And I think it's going to add or maybe even fill a void in a few ways. I know that it has for me in looking through all of the pieces and the comments that you guys have sent over in the last week or so. I especially want to shout out Vanessa for the very lengthy reflection that you sent me. I hope it's
that
okay.
wasn't too long.
I think it's absolutely incredible, and with your permission, I've posted it on the website too. I think that it stands as an amazing artist statement and reflection to the project. So I hope it's okay.
If I knew it was public, I might have spent more time on it, not making it longer. But
no, I thought about editing it down, and then I just looked at it and I was like, absolutely not. No, it's precisely what we need. And I'd like to also shout out the good folks at Art Street, of course, for going above and beyond, as you guys always do, not only in the content, but also in the bios and the headshots of all of the kids that you guys worked with from multiple schools across DPS. And so big shout out to you guys as well. With everybody here, can everybody see my shared screen?
Yep.
yes.
Cool. So this page is going to live in our exhibitions section of our website, which is newly added. We did that really, well, we started this link here not more than a week ago to celebrate the Dwayne Glapian show that we have up right now, which is a show that's been up now during the entire time that we've been in quarantine, but no one has really been able to see. Except for a few of his friends and family. And so we're using the template that was used for Dwayne Glapian's show. So all of the exhibitions that we'll have up now on our website, which we should have done years ago, but you know, COVID has forced us to, you know, really step our game up here on our platforms. So the format here is going to follow the same format of Dwayne Glapian's show and all the other shows that will come afterwards. And so we are going to be the second exhibition to go up. The third exhibition hopefully will be the ArtCore mentoring post, but we're kind of debating as to whether or not where that will live. And maybe Miss Emma can talk about that a little bit later when we're doing some reflection. But there will be some other shows that will go up on this page. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. You can see across the banner, it says Epic Art Spring 2020 Exhibition and Virtual Showcase. At the very, very top, across the header here, we're going to have some other pages that will break off under their own pages, which is what is Epic Arts, which will be an explanation of what our program is. It will just be a link to our already existing youth programs page. Then there'll be the highlights with the teachers, which thank you so much for all of you guys that sent me bios and headshots. So there'll be a page that pops up separate from this particular web page here. And then artists will have their profiles as well. Schools, I'll have links to all of the schools that you guys are coming from. And then I'll have, you know, for some of you guys that have sent me emails or comments about the impact of what this semester has done for you and your students, I'll have pretty much like a blog kind of rolling there. And then press from last year. I'm still looking to get us some press for this year, but I wanted to make sure I had all the content ready to go before I sent it off to a couple of people that I think will do some great write-ups for us, including Anythink Libraries, which did our press back in 2019, and maybe possibly some other media as well. Cool. Oh, Karma's there. Hey, Karma, how you doing? Good to see you. And so I wanted to scroll down. I loved this image from the thank you card project. Shout out to everyone that contributed to that too, and Matthew and Emily. I can't wait to have you guys kind of explain a little bit more about that and that process. Matthew's actually in his car, as you guys can see, as he's picking up some of those thank you cards this morning and over the next couple of days that will go to Children's Hospital. It's very exciting. The curatorial statement obviously is going to be a little different this year based on some of the challenges we faced. And you guys can kind of read this on your own, or if you'd like, I can narrate for you. But basically, it's the coronavirus may have shut down our way of life, but it has not shut down our voices. This year's Epic Art Spring 2020 exhibition comes to you in a time of global panic. Most things are uncertain, but the work of these courageous students is a testament to the future. Things are going to be all right. And then Vanessa, this is when I took the liberty of taking out a quote from part of your reflection that you sent that I thought was extraordinarily powerful. And I'll let you guys kind of read through that kind of quickly to get the gist of that. And then down here at the bottom is a list of our cohort, including our schools. And then I'll also have a list of our donors and our stakeholders as well that will go here. But as we're still getting more funding in from more grants that will go to general ops and some of our ed programs, I want to make sure that I acknowledge everyone. And so there's going to be a pretty hefty list here of people that have contributed to this, this program. Are there any questions as I'm in this part of the website? Everybody awake and okay? What day is it? Real quick, who can tell me?
Thursday.
That's a great question.
Thursday? I've just been calling all the days.
JC, this is great. Thank you for doing this. I'm really thrilled to see this. I know this has been a lot of work for you to put this together, so thank you.
You know, yes and no. I mean, like, because at the same time, I also want to honor all the work that you guys have done. You guys made sure that we kept pushing this program. And I think it's necessary to honor it and really have it be as big and bold as Epic Arts actually is. And you guys have made this a possibility. So thank you. Going down after that, it's about the program, and you guys know about the program because you've heard me rant about it to you for quite some time, and some of you guys even longer before I was even here. But then we jump right into, I think, some exciting content, and this is where the kids of Art Street are going to be featured because they took the time to really explore who they are during this time of uncertainty. And sent us some amazing bios and headshots too. So we've got a grid system set up here with all the kids. I love this shot. And it's going to be really personal. And I love introducing the page in this way with some of these faces, and some of these faces that I actually know, like looking at, you know, Adama here, who really makes me happy, looking at Bombo here. And also Cecilia, too, a couple of kids that I've worked with. And I also got a chance to visit with this class. And so to see these young people here kind of kick us off is very exciting. And then from there, you can click on a portrait image to actually read their name and bio. Because I'm in draft mode right now, the links aren't active, but that's what's going to happen here. As you scroll through this grid system, you can click on each kid and then have their bios jump in. And right from there, we're going to go into alphabetical order through all the schools. We'll start off with the Academy of Urban Learning. So Michael, here's where you guys are. I got to really say shout out for the poems. They are very powerful. And so when you click on this image of the collection of poems and letters from the Academy of Urban Learning High School about quarantine, I'll do as you suggested in the email, which is there'll be like a flip book, or I can do it as a carousel. I've been looking at both of the different types of designs, and I kind of like the flip book idea. The carousel is kind of cool too. But end of the day, when I'm ready to publish, maybe I'll send you the link again, and you can take a look if you have a preference.
Trust you. But yeah, definitely.
Cool. It's going to look really, really cool. But these poems are really powerful and amazing. So thank you so much. It's also listed is the accompanying artist. Even if they, weren't able to contribute on through the rest of the program during quarantine, we're still going to shout them out in this way. Oh, by the way, just to let you guys know, so I don't forget, all of your checks have gone out in the mail. Okay, so you guys should be receiving your Epic Arts checks very shortly. And I know that for some of you guys, you have sent me private emails saying that you feel kind of weird taking money from Redline during this time. I want you guys to know that we are trying to support all of our artists. I know some of you guys know about the Colorado Artist Relief Fund. Even if you didn't apply for it, we want to make sure that our teachers and our artists are supported through this in the best way that we possibly can. As being a former teacher myself, I can only imagine what you guys are going through right now in trying to figure out how you're going to maintain programming next year, your jobs, everything that has to go along with that. So please accept our token of appreciation that should be coming in the mail fairly soon.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And moving on from that, I've got your artist statements that'll be catty corner to the images that you can then click on. We will go down in alphabetical order then to Art Street. Art Street, all of your images will remain on a carousel as well. And once you click on them, they will be enlarged too. And with that, there is the artist statement. You guys worked with Juan Fuentes. And there's a quote from Juan, and thank you guys so much for sending this. But this is how you guys will live here on the site. Chelsea, Amy, thumbs up, thumbs down, in between, indifferent. Okay, awesome. Then we'll move on to Bruce Randolph. Ted was awesome enough to actually create his own website with the content that he had collected from his kids. And the link right now isn't working. And so he's going to be working on adjusting that. So I have just a placeholder image from Bruce Randolph inside the hallways here with the quote from Frederick Douglass, which I think is fairly appropriate. Without a struggle, there can be no progress. I think that really speaks to what's going on right now. And then we've got Bruce Randolph High School. With Scott Nobles, which they actually contributed to the Thank You Card Project, which is in conjunction with McMeen. And so here are the images here from their thank you cards, which I think are pretty incredible. And then a list of the participating students. Going down after that, we have the Learning Center out in Aurora. And Vanessa, I love this image. And as I said, it may read a little bit long. People tend to not want to read, a lot of long things on websites. But I think this might be an exception. I think since we're talking about how we're supporting our teachers and our students during this time of COVID, I think more is going to be better at this point. And I think people are going to be really hungry to find out how our teachers are doing. And so if you're okay with me leaving all of this in here, it's there. And keep in mind too, I want to also let you guys know that this is going to be a living document, that I can change anything or add anything at any time. So if you guys have any other suggestions or any other things that you think you should or you want added onto your page or your links, feel free to send me an email or a link in Google Docs, and I will add anything that you like. I want to make sure that we are really celebrating what has happened during this historic time. I mean, like when, you know, historians go back and look at all of this, you know, people are going to want to know what happened during this time and what teachers did. And I think that this can be a great testament to the perseverance and the dedication to education that you guys are showing. Then, of course, we have Kunstmiller. Yay, Kunstmiller! We've got some of the images that Abby, you sent over. And if there are more, feel free to send me more. I've got a small grid going on here. And then the artist statements, including names of pieces and the medium used in order to create. And so that will live here.
Quick formatting question. Would it be possible to have the artist statements be revealed when somebody clicks on the image? Because otherwise it'll be a lot of scrolling of text and hard to know which artist statement goes with which image.
It will be. I did put them in order based on how the grid is going from left to right, but I can definitely do that. I can definitely do that. I will put the artist statements accompanied with the link once you open it up.
And if you like, maybe you and I can talk later about maybe I just write some text as an intro so there's some text visible next to the images. Yeah, we can talk later.
I'd love it. Cool. Okay. And then going on next is Lowry Elementary School with Carolyn Lohr and Jerry. They created a video. It's really quite endearing. It's kids talking about what they've been doing during quarantine. And this first grade class is actually pretty near and dear to my heart, as my son Solomon also goes to this school. His class is right next door to the first graders. And not only that, but Carolyn used to work at Kunstmiller, actually. And so the whole reason why she's doing this program now is because she did Epic Arts last year when she was teaching at Kunstmiller. And yeah, so success stories all around. I also added this video on my site visit. I was able to record the kids and their guest teacher, Jerry, an artist, working with them, and he works in comic book illustration, and so he was showing them how he draws Spider-Man and Mysterio and digitally, and it was a big success. The thing with this, though, is Ms. Lohr is still checking to make sure that she has releases for all of her kids to have their faces shown on our website. And so this won't go public until I get that confirmation from her. She's pretty sure she's got all her releases, but she's double checking. And then we go on to McMean, which is very exciting. Matt, I included the video here of our request to have anyone join in on this project. And I'll be awaiting some of those amazing images that you are collecting today and throughout the weekend to post up here in the same grid format that'll live right there. And that, in a nutshell, is going to be it. But like I said, all of the other things will exist up here across the top banner. And yeah, as more content comes to mind and you get more things coming in, feel free to send them to me, and I will make sure that they get posted. Questions, comments, concerns about that before I open the floor to you guys? I've been talking for way too long, and I want to hear how you guys are doing.
When are you thinking it's going to go live, JC?
I'm hoping Monday, if I can get all those images in. I mean, I really want to, you know, allow Matt the time to be able to collect everything and send me the images that he needs before I publish it all. I'm figuring one for all and all for one, and not publishing the page without it being complete with all of our cohort involved.
Yeah, our kids are very anxious.
Okay, good.
on Saturday, because I said told them Saturday, and they were like, "Where's the exhibition?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're still waiting on some content. I'll text you as soon as I know."
Gotcha.
So
What
I
I
have
could,
a general idea what to tell him.
what I can do too is I can also do a Facebook post or maybe even an Instagram post as well for those of you guys that have eager students who want to see their content up.
Maybe since all of our students' pictures are kind of front and center, we should probably check releases on some of those as well.
We have them all.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I'm 99% sure, but I'll double check for sure.
Okay, cool.
All right, awesome. Anybody else comments on the website before we get some reflections here? I want to give everybody at least, anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes to be able to talk about challenges, successes that they've seen over the course of the last, good God knows how long we've been in quarantine here, since March 13th, Friday the 13th of March. Does that sound about right? Okay.
Yeah, JC.
Yeah.
I was thinking, you said that you wanted to do like Instagram post
Yes,
of
absolutely.
this.
Yes.
I think that would be a really good idea. Just in general, I think to kind of like throughout the summer to get people to look at it, like refresh people, like maybe like pick like a school every week or something to post about. So it's not overwhelming to people. Do you know what I mean? So that more, I feel like it would reach a broader audience if you do a post a week per school or something, just to like refresh people, like, oh, just a thought.
Yeah, no, that's actually our plan. I'm glad that you brought that up, because we do have a marketing coordinator who's on contract for us that runs our Instagram feed. And so once a week we send her content as a team, and she picks that content and finds a slot for it once a week. So right now the ed program has Thursdays slated for our IG posts specifically. So yes, we'll prolong it and make sure that we are promoting our schools at least once a week through IG. Twitter, I run that feed, so it'll probably be somewhere along the same thing. But with Twitter, frequency is obviously more important as opposed to some of the other platforms. So I might oversaturate Twitter, but Facebook will probably be the same with a post a week.
Okay, cool.
Thanks. Cool. Well, then if there are no other comments about the website, I'd love to just jump in and maybe start in alphabetical order the same way that we went through the website with the Academy of Urban Learning. Michael, would you like to talk about this semester, how it started off, and then how it progressed, and then finally how it ended? And it doesn't necessarily even have to be all EPIC related. I'm just very interested in the classroom itself and what remote learning has looked like, especially for you as a new teacher in a new school.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it again. And it's been interesting for sure, especially for a first year. I feel like next year will be my real first year because it'll be way more normal. But yeah, it's been good. I was really looking forward to doing a mural, like a huge mural, but hopefully next year I can get that done. But I think the adaptation of everyone has really shined through. And that's like one of the big things you can take away from this time is just, I'd say, how much humans need humans and then adaptation. And it was kind of hard for our students, especially just being kind of one of those, like a charter school with, kids that, some of them are in just harsh situations, possibly more than others. And so sometimes doing homework is like the last priority, survival is more the first one. So I kind of went from a more visual thinking to a written thinking because I'm a digital artist. So, I'm all about visual and color and digital art. And I even introduced some students to like pixel art and a little bit of digital art over the semester, just of like little things to keep their, mind sharp, but not bogging them down, when they have science and English or something like that. But yeah, I went to some poetry because that's a good way for people to express themselves, especially in a time like this. And a lot of people already write themselves. They just don't think of it as poetry. They don't have the confidence. So I kind of pushed a couple of kids, like, show me what you're thinking, how you feel during this time. And, we can kind of all bond together, staff and students, make it a collective. So that's kind of how I went and took the poetry approach. So I could just kind of reach towards more of our students that might not necessarily draw, but could definitely write or text a story or a poem. So it was interesting to see that type of transition from my personal thinking to visual to written, and then seeing and reading some everyone's stories, to relate to. Even some of the staff members are going through some hard times, and it's good for them to show their vulnerability to the students. Kind of brings us all together.
Wow, were you surprised to see the vulnerability in your students and what they wrote? Or
yeah, some of them show a little more than you think, especially if you kind of coax them to write it in a creative manner, or maybe in metaphors, or just straight from the heart. Definitely.
Wow. Excellent. Well, thank you for your thoughts. I really appreciate it.
And thank you as well.
Excellent. I'll just kind of go down my grid here. I've got Amy here next. I imagine you're doodling because that's how you concentrate in meetings.
You know me well.
I know
with different colors too.
Absolutely.
Of course. Yes. I listen and draw at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm really going to let, I loved it because it was a way for us to stay connected with our youth in a really positive way in a time when they're feeling negative. But I'm going to let Chelsea talk the most about it because she was really the one with Juan who led this. But I loved it. I loved what they produced, and it just meant a lot to me personally. So like they're, everyone's saying that it's kind of amazing how much it gives back to you, much less what it did for the youth. So so thank you for encouraging us to do this, because I don't know if we would have done something like this without your encouragement for us to all continue, and all the other instructors' encouragement. So I loved it. I'm gonna let Chelsea go though and tell more about the project.
Well, so I do have to say though, Amy did a lot of the cat herding part. She did all the texting and all the emails and just the late night phone calls with kids that weren't actually sure what we were doing. And so yeah, huge shout out to Amy for all of that. But I think what made it so meaningful for these students was that it was something that it didn't just feel like schoolwork. It actually felt like it kind of had something more beyond that. And, for a lot of them, it was outside their regular schoolwork, which was cool. So, yeah, just seeing the photos come in and seeing them kind of get excited about being able to express themselves was just really, it was just really amazing. I'm sure all of you guys kind of experienced that as well. And then getting their artist statements. I think we were so impressed by what students wrote, and just, because you'd get a picture of something, but then you'd read this statement about what the photo was, and it really added to what that photo was supposed to be. And then challenging them to choose a word to put on top of their photos was really cool too, just for a lot of them to take that next step with a photo they might have already taken. So yeah, it was great. They did a great job. Got an even 20.
Yeah, I was really impressed, and I see Juan is with us too. I'm sorry, you must have been in the waiting room for a little bit. I got kind of focused on listening here. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, and a huge shout out to Juan. He did such a good job, motivating the students and looking at their pictures and just offering comments and showing his own work and really jumping into the weird digital world with us, which was awesome.
Awesome. Juan, are you there? Would you like to talk a little bit? I think he's there. He is there. He's muted. We'll come back to him. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Chels. I'll just keep going down the line and go to Vanessa.
I think I can reflect. A lot of what Michael said is pertinent to what our students are going through. We go from this in-person, side by side, and sometimes even hand over hand model of learning to this disconnected kind of space where we are really dealing with helping students with their mental health. And so just participating and learning for them was, we were just mostly concerned about whether or not they were eating and safe and things like that. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Okay, there we go.
Yes, we can hear you.
So we were trying to not bog them down too with feeling like they had to deal with school on top of their life circumstances. And just engaging them in general has been really tough. Sometimes being online with the students, we would have some conversations, and even though they weren't completing work, at least you knew, hey, they were okay today. Or if they weren't okay, they felt like they were going to be okay. You know, they could see that their difficult situation was going to pass for that day. So yeah, it's been a challenge for sure. I was really sad that the students weren't really excited. They couldn't, being disconnected from the experience, they just couldn't see what this looked like for them. I think that was a hard part of participating. But I am glad that I was still able to maintain that connection with some of those guys. Because, you know, I do worry about them. You worry about them all the time. I guess we all worry about our students, don't we? So, I don't know. It's been tough, pretty tough. And I did like getting the work from the students, because it does feel that, we were talking about that void, you know, you just think, okay, how's it going out there? And they'll send you something and, oh, wow, they've been working on this and they've been able to spend some time doing something that they like. And that was kind of nice to see too.
Excellent. Did you notice anything different compared to previous Epic years?
No work being done. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I think it was tough for the students too, because Dominique had come into school and just really connected with my kids. They loved her, and she really gained their respect, and she gained their trust. And at first it was like, oh yeah, whatever, you know. And she was really able to win them over, and they were so excited about what this project would look like. And you know, like a lot of our students, they don't have a lot of reason to trust people, and they don't have a lot of reasons to allow people into their life that they don't think matter. And she really was able to connect with them. And I'm actually thinking maybe there's something we can do later for them, for the students that would do come back to our school, to do something with her or be a part of something that's a continuation of what they didn't get to complete. Because not being able to complete this project in the way I think they saw it happening was kind of it just reinforces their life experience of, well, everything sucks anyway, you know, and they're used to being let down. So I think if there's any way we could kind of, even on our own, do something, that they would really love that.
Yeah, Vanessa, absolutely. My goal in this is to obviously have this digital exhibition, but as soon as things are clear as to how schools are going to move forward and how Redline will move forward with opening, it's our goal to, you know, celebrate all of our students' artwork as best as we possibly can with an actual exhibition. That might look like 2021, but you have our promise that yes, we'll still be here to engage. Hopefully your artist will be able to also be engaged too. She's pretty busy. She's a busy lady. She's a busy lady, and we're really proud of her and all the work that she's doing. But I will do my best to lock her back in. I know that she was beyond excited about being able to work with your students. I had a conversation with her directly after her first visit with your students. And I spoke to her on the phone for maybe about an hour as I was at Coffee at the Point. And she couldn't have been more excited about the experience that she was about to have. She said that these were her kids, is what she said, you know, and that she had an immediate connection with them as well. And so if she's available, I'll reel her in. That's the goal.
Awesome. My students would love it.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Miss Emma, can I move on to you as obviously our education coordinator at Redline, and also running one of our other sister programs to EPIC in the Art Core Mentorship Program, which is the one-on-one version of EPIC. Can you talk a little bit about the impact that you've seen as well, especially as you're gathering content to also launch an exhibition?
Yeah, so it's definitely been pretty tough with engagement, since instead of EPIC, mentoring is an after-school program. So we don't have that same teacher support, and since it's not during school hours, the engagement has been a real factor. So some students and parents have been pretty responsive, and others I keep trying to connect with, and it's been pretty difficult, unfortunately. But the way mentoring works, they create like smaller projects throughout the first half of the year. So they were just getting into their larger projects for an exhibition when all of this broke out. So we're kind of creating a catalog that can live on the website and also be printed for the students. So they have like copies of something physical, and it'll catalog some of the work that they did throughout the year, and then some of their mentoring artists' work that they've been recently working on, and then photos as well. So that'll be distributed to the students, and then it'll live on the website kind of in place of an exhibition. But kind of echoing what you guys have said, we've really just been focused on the well-being of the students in that program as opposed to having some type of outcome. So I've been dropping off art supplies at their houses and meals, and really just providing them with things that they need, and not really asking for any physical outcome in terms of art production. And we have gotten some photos, which is great and always like really wonderful to see that. But just providing them with things that they need has been the main goal, and then creating kind of a catalog of what they did the first semester.
Excellent. Can you also talk a little bit about the Wednesday drop-off program too?
Yeah, so on Wednesdays, we've been dropping off a meal at one of the mentoring students' families each week, and then also art supplies to 1 or 2 families on Wednesdays. So we've been kind of doing kits that have like little canvases, paints, watercolors, paper, all that kind of stuff. If they ask for something specific, we'll get that for them as well. And then a meal for a family. So I think that's been really beneficial, and that's where we get the most feedback from the parents, that that's really helpful for them. And then we also have that Redline at Home blog page that I send out to the parents. So they do have resources for activities they can be doing with their students. So yeah, we've just been kind of supporting as opposed to working towards a specific goal.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Abby, you are up.
Hi, guys. And hey, Karma. It's nice to see you. So Karma and I launched a really awesome proposal for a mural with our students right before lockdown started. And we built out this great schedule for her to come be with the students regularly to transform the entire front of our building. And kids were super jazzed, and we were ready to rock and roll. And then everything came to a screeching halt, and my kids pretty much dropped off the face of the earth. A lot of them got jobs. A lot of them are caring for siblings, and pretty much disengaged from online schooling altogether. So what you see on the website here, what I ended up submitting for the EPIC show, is some examples of a social justice art project that we had literally just completed right before we started to work with Karma. So it wasn't technically part of epic, so to speak, but it's definitely still in line with the theme of social justice, and is, I think, really powerful work that's showing what kids are passionate about. So I tried to create a themed project for the rest of the semester based on the idea of utopia, and got a couple of kids to submit some ideas, but you know, without engagement and without having that in-person one-to-one motivation and dialoguing, it's the quality of the work is not what I normally would have seen had we been in a classroom. So I'm pretty much just kind of releasing the semester, you know, saying not goodbye to, you know, my hopes and dreams for the semester, but more of like we'll table that. We'll put it on pause until we can like try again in the fall. And I really would love to try to get Karma, if you're still willing and able next year to come back and we can try again for that mural, because I think that was going to be pretty amazing. So yeah, to be continued on that one.
Yep.
Excellent, thank you. And I, you know, in visiting with your class too, and meeting the artists that created, you know, some of these pieces, I was really inspired and very excited about the work that was going to be done too. So yes, it's just to be continued. I think the theme for this year obviously is adaptation, whatever that may look like. And so we're going to do our best to adapt to the circumstances and still move forward. So yes, Karma, if you're still available, obviously we would love to continue this on going into next year. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about this semester and how everything kind of shaped out as far as expectations and then the reality of it.
Yeah, just pretty much mirroring the same thoughts as Abby. I'm super excited. We had a really great idea. We had a really, really good brainstorming day. Her class is very shy, I guess would be like the easiest word to use for students. I'm really good at engagement with students, and I'm generally pretty good at getting them to engage with the work that I do with Museo, only seeing students for 1 hour ever. I've been pretty good at like having skills, and that was, I think, a challenge, and I can see why their involvement like online was non-existent, because they were very much introverted, more so than I've ever met as a whole group of students. So I mean, it's, you know, it's a bummer. I was actually like really looking forward to like kind of pulling their little personalities out as the semester went through, and just kind of figuring out who they were and what made them tick, and like how to facilitate them in duties and tasks while we were working on the mural, which 100%, I'm still like, I think about it, like, man, that is going to be so cool. And I have no doubt that we will make it happen regardless. Like, I feel like it's going to happen. Everything's on pause. I have a 5th grader whose last day of school today, so she's very excited. But she's very much like you need to like really push her. And I just think about all the students that I'm sure all of us know or have. I have some in my after school program with Voz y Corazón, that it's like, you've got to have an adult that is constantly pushing them to engage, or else they're not engaging. And I think a lot of students don't have, not necessarily that their parents aren't willing to, that just they're in, like JC said earlier, that they're in survival mode, or like, you know, people are working, they have more than one kid to teach. So yeah, it's been a real bummer that the world shifted in this way, but I think it's really great to see Epic like have its own website is really cool. And just like knowing what that's going to be like for the future, just to kind of give that more exposure. I'm all about giving kids or young people reasons to feel valuable, and like seeing yourself associated with such a big institution, I think is like, hopefully for years to come, this is like a thing. I think is really cool. So I'm looking forward to next year. Obviously all of us, I've been dealing with it in a weird way. I went active on my house the day that all this closed down. So I was already in like moving and chaos mode anyway. So I've been very sloth-like myself because it's just been so chaotic. So yeah, I'm really excited for next year. Hopefully everything works out. And if not, we'll have painters masks and we can still do it. So yeah. So anyways, I'm excited and thank you for having me back. I love Abby. I've worked with her in various capacities anyways. So I'm excited. I think that, you know, just patience will get it done. That mural out front is pretty needing of updating.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the front of Kunzmiller, not the parking lot, but the actual like main front of the building. The mural's a little old.
Super
so,
old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? Outdoor projects may be the future.
Yeah.
For all of us. And Karma, too, at the same time, before all this started, you had asked me about coming back to Corazon and doing some cosplay for your students for live modeling.
Yes.
Which for those of you guys that don't know, I'm an amateur cosplayer, and I've modeled for Karma's students before in superhero attire. And so I am still all for that. If you go remote doing it, I'm all about it. So
cool. We actually are doing our group remotely, and we have a kid from Texas. That's like one of the benefits of this whole new world. I'm very anti the Zoom thing, but with very specific people like this is enjoyable.
Great.
But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. We can start adding in kids that maybe didn't have access to these kinds of things because of their location. So
right.
That is pretty cool. So
fantastic.
I'm super down with you.
Cool. Thanks.
Well, thank you, JC.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you. We're down to our last two. We've got Matthew and Emily there. Matthew, since you are in the midst of picking things up, I'd love to hear in about 3 or 4 minutes kind of your tale in this amazing journey that you've been on. You've really stuck by Redline, during this entire quarantine, doing multiple things. And so I'd love to kind of hear about this experience from you.
Yeah, well, first of all, the experience has been really fantastic. I am having slight tough technical.
I can never use my headphones and speak at the same time. It's really hard for me. But then again, like my phone wanted to shut down because it got too hot, and then I went outside, and now there's a lawnmower chasing me around. So I'm around. But really, like this project, I was really heartbroken when I thought it was going to end. And then Emily and I were able to have a conversation with you, and we found some things that could work. And then we put together some kits, and some kids came and picked up the kits, and then more kids came. And so it felt really good a month ago when we started. And then now we're getting the cards back, which is fantastic. I think, I don't know how many we're going to have, but I think we're going to have over 50 at least. If we make it to 100, that's incredible. The other cards that you guys have, I wanted to know how to get in touch with the people that had some more. I'm going to talk to Heidi at Hospital this week and set up a day with her next week to go over and drop off the cards. But then the cards have to sit in quarantine for 72 hours. So it's not like we can drop them off and get reactions from the essential workers themselves, because it does have to sit through a quarantine period. So, I'm gathering pictures now. I have more pictures. We took pictures yesterday, this morning. We'll get some more over this weekend. And then I think Emily and I may go over together and look at or bring over the cards to Heidi and get some pictures then with her. And, so we'll have more pictures coming, but I hope to have a date for that for you by tomorrow afternoon. So you'll know. If you want to release the site on Monday, that's fine. You can add the content after or those pictures after, but we'll have some to send to you before Monday. I'll get as many as I can to you Saturday night or Sunday. And, so that's where we're at with the cards.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been a really fantastic experience trying to put this together virtually. We did a Flipgrid with the kids, and they gave a definition of social justice. And I mean, kids on video, when they're making their own little 1-minute videos, it's really like an insight into their personalities and who they are, because they're at home and they're just kind of doing whatever. Some are playing with emojis. I didn't really understand those ones, but other kids were like very like on top of the meaning of social justice. So it worked out really well in that regard. So I think our project did have an impact with the kids. And Emily can probably speak more to that, as she's in contact with the parents and the kids more than I am. But from my perspective, I think everything's gone really, really well. So as best it could, I should say.
Fantastic, thank you. I think in response to you getting content for me, yeah, whatever you send me over the weekend, I'll use that and post on Monday. And if it's not everything, that's okay. Like I said, this will be a living and breathing document. So we'll just keep adding on to it as more content comes in. And, when you drop off the cards, if you leave instructions for any of the staff that get the cards, that they can record themselves, just selfie mode for themselves with their phones to get their reactions. And if they're comfortable with then us sharing those reactions on our website, that'd be fantastic. That'd be great, and I think it's really important too, to be able to show those reactions if they're up for it. But I think that would be a great response.
Yeah, I'll talk to Heidi about that and see if there's some sort of thing that we can do. If she's the one handing out the cards, or
okay,
if she wants to just do a few, people that she knows there and give cards to them and get the reactions and send them to me. So, or we'll see what comes of it. Maybe some people will just do it organically. They'll just post stuff, and maybe if we just leave like the hashtag, epic or something like that
okay,
they can use. I don't know which one to use, but
we'll come up with one. Yeah, we'll come up with one offline. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Emily, are you there? We're pretty close to staying on our timeline here.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi.
Yay.
Hi. So, hello everyone. I'm actually not at home, so I don't have my video on. But and I'm a little out of breath because I'm actually running.
Oh wow. Okay.
But this project for me has been the most meaningful during remote learning. I can really reiterate sentiment of Michael, Vanessa, I mean, what most people spoke about in terms of what our community is going through, and engagement and how to access kids right now is quite challenging. But for me, this project has gotten the most response from our community. And, as I reflect on moving forward, because it's not going to be normal for a little while, I think this kind of format that we did and these themes of engagement are really inspirational, and this is where it's at. And so for me, I've been really inspired by this project, and I want to thank Matthew, because he didn't even meet our kids. He came to the school and just met with me, but his investment in our community and this project has been so positive, and it's been really great. So, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We're hanging on every word. We're hanging on every word.
Good. So, I'm really interested to know, in remote learning, how do we bridge this equity gap? Because it's more visible now than ever. And I think the route we're going is the right route. And I want more of it. So keep reflecting on that all the time.
Excellent. I'm glad you brought that up. As a matter of fact, I'm in talks right now with the Denver Museum of Nature and Science about using their mobile science lab to bring high-speed internet to communities that don't have it, so that students can be able to complete some of their projects either during the summer or back when the school year pops back up again. So just know that we're also working on other resources to be able to support you guys and our larger community of artists and teachers as well. So thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Well, cool. It looks like we're going to be able to end like right on time. I wanted to also reiterate that you guys are essential, not only to our students, but to our community, because our communities are made of people, and these young people that you guys are serving are going to grow up to be the people that say they survived COVID, you know, and they're going to be telling their kids about what it was like then, and the world is dramatically going to change. And some of them may say that this particular project was something that they remember in having a voice during a time when it seems like there's so much confusion and so much misdirection. And so we will do our best to make sure that we're maintaining this program and creating more like it, you know, to move forward, because we're going to have to adapt. And I'll be looking to all of you guys for your input. We were already getting ready to shift EPIC and give more power to you, the artists and the teachers anyways. And I've spoken to quite a few of you about what that might look like already, and I've started to develop some plans, but who knows where we might go from here. And so with that, please fill out those surveys that I sent you guys moments before this meeting started. You've got some time. I don't need them like right now in the moment. Sometime in the next week or so would be fantastic, because that's going to be ammunition that I'm going to need to go back to the rest of our stakeholders and sponsors and say, this is why this program is necessary, and this is why we need to pivot in order to make sure that our students are as equipped as they possibly can to meet the challenges of this new era. And with that being said, be on the lookout in your mailboxes for your checks, you know, and please understand that we appreciate you and want to support you. Just because the summer is coming up now, that is absolutely no reason to not be in contact. If we want to keep these conversations going about what EPIC can do and how we can even be more powerful next year or next fall, whatever that looks like, as far as coming back is concerned, I'd love to do that. But this is our cohort, and we're definitely going to be engaging with you as far out as you'll have us. So thank you so much to everyone. If you have any other questions about the website, like Abby and Matt, or any other content that you want to send in, just flood my inbox. I will be here, and I'll respond in real time and get those things worked out. Does anybody want to lead us in anything positive to kind of end this whole thing off on? Matthew, I'm looking at you, buddy. You know it. You're my spirit animal, so I gotta come to you, man. What are you talking about?
Spirit animal. Oh my God, you're the spirit, man. Are you kidding? Oh, so that's the highlight right there. Just, you know, try to smile every day, and, you know, connect with people, and, you know that everything's going to be fine. We're all going to be okay as long as we take care of each other. So that's my closing sentiment.
That's beautiful. What better way to end it? Please get outside and enjoy, you know, this time. And if you guys do have any contact with your students, please give them this personal message from me that I applaud their bravery and their vulnerability, and that we are going to push forward. And art is ever living.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I'm going to end this this Zoom call. Oh, last thing. If you guys don't mind, I've recorded this Zoom call, and is it okay if I post it on the impact page on the website? Is that cool? If it's not okay, and you're like, oh man, like my background, you know, is not what's popping right now for me and my social media, I can make sure that everyone's good. We're all good. Okay, cool. All right.
Thanks for everything, JC. Appreciate you.
No worries. Appreciate you guys too, and I will talk to you
JC.
very soon. Thanks, guys. See you, A. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Bye.